The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT is the car that makes grown men weak in the knees. Aggressive E-body styling that still looks like it was designed yesterday. A lineup of engines that reads like a performance fantasy, 383 Magnum, 446 pack, 426 Hemi, Hollywood fame that turned it into a cultural icon, and collector values that have been climbing for decades with no ceiling in sight. Every Mopar enthusiast has a poster of this car somewhere. Every muscle car fan puts it on their dream garage list. And every auction house prays one's surfaces because it means massive bidding wars and broken records. But here's the truth that nobody at Barrett-Jackson will tell you. Owning a real 1970 Challenger RT is one of the most terrifying experiences in the collector car world. It's a financial trap disguised as a dream, a hobby killer wrapped in beautiful sheet metal, a stress machine that will consume your money, your sleep, and your sanity in ways you never imagined possible. The problems run deeper than any other muscle car because the Challenger RT has a unique combination of rarity, Hollywood mythology, massive counterfeiting operations, and brutal maintenance requirements that make ownership a genuine ordeal. Before we expose this uncomfortable truth, hit that subscribe button right now because Garage History is about to reveal the dark reality behind the most romanticized Mopar muscle car ever built. The counterfeiting catastrophe. Let's start with what keeps every Challenger RT owner awake at night. The counterfeiting epidemic that has destroyed trust in the entire market. In 1970, Dodge built 19,983 Challenger RTs. That's a relatively small production run for such an iconic car. But conservative estimates suggest there are 4 to 5 times that many authentic RTs floating around the collector market today. The math is terrifying. More fake Challenger RTs exist than real ones, and the fakes are so sophisticated that they routinely fool experienced collectors, seasoned appraisers, and even auction house specialists. Here's why counterfeiting the Challenger is particularly devastating compared to other muscle cars. The E-body platform that underpins the Challenger was shared across multiple Dodge and Plymouth models. Regular Challengers, SE models, and even convertibles share the same fundamental structure as the RT. Converting a $25,000 base Challenger into a documented RT worth $120,000 plus requires relatively straightforward modifications that professional fraudsters have perfected. They source real RT fender badges. They install correct RT stripe packages. They swap in period-correct RT engines with restamped numbers. They fabricate broadcast sheets, the factory-build documentation, using period-correct paper and printing techniques. They create fake Protecto plates, window stickers, and dealer invoices that look indistinguishable from originals. The result is a counterfeit so convincing that it passes initial inspection by even the most experienced eyes. And because Chrysler's factory records from 1970 are notoriously incomplete, many build records were lost, damaged, or simply never digitized. Proving or disproving authenticity becomes an endless battle of opinions rather than facts. The rust horror story. If the counterfeiting doesn't destroy you, the rust will. The 1970 Challenger has some of the worst rust vulnerabilities of any American muscle car ever built. And that's saying something in a hobby where rust is the universal enemy. Chrysler's rust protection in 1970 was absolutely non-existent. They used minimal primer, thin paint, and zero cavity wax on an E-body design that had numerous rust traps built directly into the structure. Water gets in, it stays in, and it eats. The floor pans on 70 Challengers are universally compromised. The design channels water directly into the floor, and the factory drainage was so inadequate that even cars from dry climates show significant floor rust. Replacing floor pans on an E-body Challenger correctly costs $8,000 to $15,000 in labor alone because everything has to come out first. Seats, carpet, console, wiring harness. Then there's the infamous Challenger rust triangle, the area where the firewall meets the floor, meets the torque boxes. This area is so prone to catastrophic rust that even restored cars often have structural compromise that's been cosmetically hidden rather than properly repaired. The torque boxes themselves are legendary rust magnets. These structural members distribute suspension loads into the frame, and when they rust through, and they always rust through eventually, the car becomes structurally compromised and potentially unsafe to drive. Proper torque box replacement requires a frame table, specialized welding equipment, and expertise that few shops actually have. Cost? $5,000 to $12,000 just for that repair. And we haven't even mentioned the frame rails, the trunk floor, the quarter panel bottoms, the wheel houses, or the door bottoms. All areas where e-body challengers rust aggressively and require expensive surgery to repair properly. The engine authenticity minefield. Here's where the terror gets truly personal. Even if your Challenger RT is genuinely documented as an RT, the engine situation creates a separate nightmare that can destroy value and provoke bitter disputes. In 1970, the RT came with a 383 Magnum as standard, with the 440 Magnum, 440 six-pack, and 426 Hemi as options. And here's the brutal reality. The vast majority of original RT engines are gone. They've been blown up in street races. And proving an engine has been restamped requires metallurgical analysis that costs thousands and can still be disputed by competing experts. The restoration financial abyss. Think you can buy a driver-quality RT for $60,000 and do a budget restoration? The Challenger RT will destroy that fantasy within months. Budget restorations don't exist for e-body Mopars. The parts prices are savage, availability is shrinking, and the community standards for correctness are brutal. Correct date-coded 440 Magnum heads cost $3,000 to $6,000 per pair if you can find them. Original e-body specific trim pieces, window surrounds, dashboard components, unique body moldings cost 3 to 5 times what equivalent Camaro or Mustang parts cost because the production numbers were lower and the aftermarket never fully filled the gap. Correct rally gauges, $15,000 to $3,000 for a clean original set. RT-specific steering wheel, $800 to $2,000. Correct rally wheels with original caps and rings, $400 to $600 each. $200,000 to $350,000 is realistic. And the market won't give you that back because buyers are terrified of restored cars. They prefer original condition survivors where they can verify authenticity more reliably. The insurance and legal trap. Getting proper insurance on a real Challenger RT is a battle that many owners lose before they even start. Insurance companies hate these cars. Here's why. First, agreed value coverage for a $120,000 muscle car is expensive. Premiums of $35,000 to $6,000 per year are typical, which means you're paying $300 to $500 every single month just to protect the car from disaster. Second, the insurance companies dispute values constantly. They'll hire their own appraisers who mysteriously value the car 30% below market because lower valuations mean smaller payouts if the worst happens. Fighting their appraisal requires hiring your own appraiser, potentially going to arbitration, and possibly pursuing legal action, all at your expense and your time. Third, can create legal liability. If you're in an accident in a car modified from factory specs, even with period correct, contemporary modifications, you can face legal complications that standard auto insurance won't cover. The community paranoia and social media torture. Welcome to the most psychologically damaging aspect of RT ownership, the online community that will pick your car apart with ruthless precision and make you question everything you thought you knew about your own vehicle. The Mopar community is famous for its knowledge and passion, but that passion has a dark side. Forums dedicated to e-body challengers have members who've spent decades studying every production detail, every broadcast sheet variation, every date code range for every component, and they weaponize that knowledge. Post a photo of your RT in an online forum, and within hours you'll receive detailed examinations of every visible component. Is that carburetor date code correct for a late production RT? Those are the wrong bolts for that bracket. That wiring harness routing doesn't match the factory service manual photo from page 47. That trunk mat pattern is wrong for cars built in that assembly week. These observations might be wrong. They might be based on incomplete information or personal opinion rather than documented fact. But once someone raises a question about your car's authenticity in a public forum, that post lives forever. Future buyers will find it with a simple Google search. Auction houses will see it in their research. And your car's value and reputation will suffer because of disputed details that may be completely irrelevant to actual authenticity. Social media has made this worse. Instagram and YouTube channels devoted to exposing fake muscle cars have created a culture of suspicion where every RT is guilty until proven innocent. The daily living nightmare. Let's talk about what actually owning and using a Challenger RT does to your daily life. Because this car will dominate your existence in ways you never anticipated. The mechanical demands are constant. These 55-year-old cars need continuous attention to remain in proper operating condition. Carburetors need seasonal adjustment. Ignition systems need regular tuning. Cooling systems require constant monitoring because the E-body was notorious for marginal cooling even when new. In modern traffic conditions with higher ambient temperatures, overheating is a genuine threat. Brake systems need rebuilding every few years because rubber components degrade regardless of mileage. Suspension bushings crumble. Exhaust systems rust through. Electrical systems, never Chrysler's strong point, develop gremlins that can take weeks to diagnose and repair properly. Every service visit costs and the storage requirements. A proper Challenger RT needs climate-controlled storage to prevent rust progression and preserve the rubber, fabric, and paint. Climate-controlled storage in most American cities costs $200 to $500 per month. That's on top of insurance, maintenance, and the inevitable repairs that always emerge when you least expect them. And that's the terrifying truth about owning a 1970 Dodge Challenger RT. From counterfeiting catastrophes to rust horror stories, from restoration financial abysses to community paranoia, this dream car has a dark side that the auction houses and collector magazines will never tell you about. If this reality check changed how you think about muscle car ownership, smash that like button and drop a comment. Does the truth about RT ownership scare you away? Or does the dream still burn strong enough to make it worth it? And if you want more honest truth about collector cars, more reality behind the myths, and more stories that expose what the hobby actually costs, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because Garage History is committed to truth in a world built on romanticized fantasy. Thanks for watching, and remember, the most beautiful cars often carry the heaviest burden. Dream carefully, research obsessively, and never let passion override judgment. Until next time, stay informed and keep the history alive.